See, we're live. Takes a little. There we are. Now we're live. Well, hello everyone, and welcome to Hogarth's Global Astrology. Know your planets, know yourself, interchangeable, and of course, this is another installment of HoGaLe, which of course we look forward to doing every week. You will notice I'm in a different location, and I'll talk about that in a minute. But before that, I will introduce the ladies. So, of course, over here to my, to my right, we have Lady G. I'm glad to see that you've recovered so much from your sickness. Need to top up on that. And down under, of course, we have Dr. Lena Rodriguez, where, of course, it is Sunday for her. So before we start the show, Lady G, how are you feeling now? Are you feeling better?
Yeah, much better. I mean, I'm still not 100%, but I'm way better than I was.
Way better than you were. Yeah. The band is back together, they're saying in the...
Look, I've got a little someone who's just licking my arm here, just so you know. Do you see there's a little...
Oh, my God.
So hello, you are sweet. This little doggy here, now, people are probably wondering, where am I? Yeah, where am I? I am in this place in Mexico, which seems to be the collective dreams of every American that's ever lived, mushed into one, combined with architecture, palm trees, and drinks and soft rock.
I am so jealous. I can't find the words.
I'm staying in this house. I don't know who owns this place because it's friends of a friend's, and we're dog sitting. That dog, I need to check the paper, is called, she's a Chihuahua, and she's called Pasha. There's another dog, which is a male Pomeranian called Tamashi, and there's another one which is called Kuboshi, which is another Chihuahua. They've kind of calmed down now, but that one came to say hello. Lena, how are things with you? Any updates, any news for us?
Things are all fine because I did Christmas 2 weeks ago.
What?
This is a relaxed face. Yeah.
Very, very interesting. Very interesting. So how was your Christmas? Was it good? I mean, I know you like to do it a bit early.
Well, it was good because it wasn't attached to anything, you know. Yeah. So that worked a treat. Yeah.
Fabulous.
So now I don't have any family responsibilities on the day.
Yeah, that's cool. My one's gonna be a bit wild, gonna be a bit crazy. So guys, this show is gonna be
there for Christmas. Yes.
Yes. Yeah, I'm here for Christmas.
Wait till you see the Mexicans in full flight.
Wow. Yeah, I leave in a couple of weeks. So I'll be staying for New Year as well. So apparently there's a little bit of a surprise. My friends have been keeping it stum. They wanna keep a surprise for me. So
yeah,
we'll see. But
it will be mind blowing. Let me tell you.
Oh, I've got no idea. I'm just my first time in Mexico, and I'm literally just staying with friends. They invited me back in October, and I was like, sure. You know, I've never been. I like to travel, and it's very interesting. So today's show, folks, it's going to be more of a loose show today. There were some questions that came in, but I would like you guys to ask us questions in the chat, and we will just do an ebb and a flow. I mean, we're very close to Christmas. I'm slightly discombobulated. I'm still getting used to where I am. It's a very interesting place. And so we shall see. So how about if we look here? Let's look at one of the questions. I'm just looking up on my phone. Someone was asking about India. Where is it? Let me just see if I can actually find. The person doesn't want their name read out, so I won't read out their name, but we'll start here. So they say the 2024 election results in India is a foregone conclusion. My question is it going to be a long period, as in 10 to 20 years of going backwards, or a short one, say 5 years, or until the next election? So anything? Do you have anything on that, ladies, in terms of what's going on in India? I think
this is more Lady G's domain.
Yeah, no, I have no idea. I haven't been looking into India of late, so I don't know what they're doing. But you know, they're always having political crisis there.
Yeah. I think they have elections next year. I think they have elections in 2024. And of course, you have Narendra Modi, who is the Prime Minister of current Prime. Look at the two cars that just fell out. Not that we can read too much into that.
Right.
Trying to get away with something. But so I think there are elections in India next year. If anyone knows in the comments that who can give us a precise date, let us know. But there is fears that it may be rigged from what I understand. So let's maybe look into that. What's the energy around the elections in India?
Yeah, let's have a look.
And guys, if you have any questions for us, please write them in the comments below. And ladies, if you could keep an eye out for me for the questions too.
Yes.
And we are going to end on a Trump lawyer one, which is specific that Lena would like to know. But let us know your questions in the comments. But India, what's the energy of the 2024 election? I think it's 2024 next year.
Okay, Nehru Shatani, hi. What's the election date next year, please? If you could let us know in the comments. Okay.
Who's ready to go?
What about you, Lady G?
Yeah, I'm ready. At the center of it, you know, people are out in the cold on this one. What's crossing it is what's being worked on. Going into it, there are a lot of secrets, a lot of manipulation happening, and crossing it is unfortunately a victory. They're going to be able to manipulate the system. The challenge is keeping a lid on things, and there's going to be a lot of struggle, a lot of strife, and those, that are going to be speaking out against it. But it doesn't look like they will be successful. It looks like the manipulation and the stuff that they're doing, they will be, unfortunately, successful in manipulating things. Not good news for India.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Well, what I've got is a really interesting through line, as I sometimes call it. You know, I've done a slightly bigger spread than normal. In the middle, like Lady G, got the Queen of Cups keeping a lid on it. These are all mentioned. There's hidden agendas with this High Priestess. Look at these cards. They're all so female.
Wow.
And the Empress on top, right, along with the Queen of Cups. So it's like there's a secret agenda for keeping a lid on things expanding away. In other words, I take this to be the popularity of Modi, who keeps getting these, and he has got a lot of support, but a lot of people are against Modi because, as I understand it, he's a bit of a Hindu nationalist and so forth. It's very hard for Indian Muslims now. And he turns a blind eye to that violence and stuff. So it's all this emotional energy. I think in terms of the election, other people will be, let's say, discouraged from participating, or who will not be able to participate. That will be closed down because we've got the very powerful High Priestess here. There'll be a lot of action and it'll be very emotional. But at the end of the day, I think power is might, and I don't see Modi going anywhere after these elections.
Yeah, unfortunately, that Hindu aspect reminds me of the Christian nationalists. It's that same type of uber right, wing suppression.
Yes.
Yeah. Indeed. And if anyone can hear any ruffling and scuffling in the background, those are the dogs.
It's the Bauhaus. Now you know what we all go through every week, Hoagie.
So they're having their, there we are. They're just having a moment.
Yeah,
There's
mud wrestling, nothing like it.
I think the third one who is just vanished off around the corner. I don't know. I think he's not pleased with me at the moment. But these two are just literally letting rip and going for it. But I shall carry on. It's live TV and the show must go on. I'm in a strange country, in a stranger's house, and I don't have a clue what's going on. But
and isn't it fabulous?
It is fabulous. So if we look here, what do I get? Wow, they are so quick. Ooh. I get the Wheel of Fortune. So of course, I mean, this says a lot already. I mean, in many ways, it can be such a loaded card because it's such a broad card. But this is showing that, yes, these all elections are important, but these are probably particularly important because this will obviously decide a lot of India's future. We've seen around the world, there are a lot of leaders that do not want to let go, shall we say. And I think Modi can be considered one of those, particularly when we look at the next card here, which is turning up in the obstacle position, and which is the King of Pentacles, which of course can be what? That patriarch, that leader. This definitely is, I think this has to represent Modi, who has built up his power base over a long period of time. His roots are very deep. And just like Lena said, and Lady G was saying, even though he's not particularly popular, he has a very loyal faction. And as we see with this Pluto going through sidereal Capricorn, everyone is sort of drifting to the right. I mean, we notice, regardless of the names or the labels, it's like a tidal drift. Yeah. So here he is wanting to hold himself in position. This, of course, has a lot to do with his legacy and his sense of identity. I think he is seen, of course, as the legacy candidate, but he will also present himself as the one that will is the sort of the one that will birth India's future. And he's not completely wrong. He's not completely wrong. I mean, India is strategically in a very strong place right now. We're not often talking about them because everyone talks about Russia and China. But let's not forget, India is in a very powerful position. And I think economically and globally over the next 5 to 10 years, I think they're going to become even more significant. So I think this is Modi's ambitions for India and India's ambitions for itself as a nation. They're young, they're intelligent, huge population, and a bigger population now than China. If we look here, I'm going to actually take this more as a sense of, after India achieves or continues to achieve its financial independence and legacies, it's going to get stronger, quite literally, in the world. This is Modi that wants to hold on, but I think this transcends this. I think this is how India feels about itself. Quite confident, increasingly prosperous, and they're really enjoying laughing at the Brits, by the way, as our economy and everything is going.
Oh. I know. Sorry, the colonies come home to roost.
You would not believe what they're saying about us in the Indian media. Now they're like, because yes, they're feeling more secure, they're feeling more strong. They know the future is theirs, and they're still the largest, technically, democracy on earth. However, my last card that I get out here is the Magician, in reverse. So this is speaking about what? Manipulation, control, and stuff like that. India will still remain a democracy, but I think the person writing in is correct. I'll be surprised if Modi is not the winner on the day, because we can see all of the manipulation and stuff going on there. Anything to add to that, ladies?
No, but we've got a question from Steve Watts.
Let's go for it.
What will the political world look like in a decade? Will it be vastly different to now, or more of the same with a few shining lights? I think that's a great question.
Great question. Let's ask. And I love these freestyle questions as well that come in. Okay. Democracy for the world or democracy for America?
Political world. So Steve, I'm not sure if you meant the political world of America or the world. Let's take it as the world, because as we sit here, everything's lurching to the right. So let's see if there's any significant change in all.
Great question. Thanks for that question. Great one. All right. I must say, the dogs are sweet, even though they're not my own, but my God, they go absolutely bonkers when they see another dog. I had to talk to them. I'd be like, you do know you are a dog, don't you?
But see, they're a pack animal, so they've got to relate to any other dogs, you know.
It's true. Okay, so what the political, what was it? The political future of
in a decade? Where will it be? Will it be really different, or will it be much the same with just a few highlights?
Let's have a look.
I've pulled my cards, but I'm going quickly out to get a coffee, so I'll go last if that's okay.
Sure, no problem.
The coffee wasn't ready when we sat down. Okay.
Let's see. Oh, this is really rather interesting, I must say. Oh, okay. Lady G, what do you have? Do you want to go, or do you want me to?
Go ahead and go.
You sure? All right, I'll go. This is interesting.
Absolutely.
All right. So about the future, the card that I get here. What's this? Judgment. There we are. Got Judgment here. I think the thing that stands out for me on the Judgment card is the bugle. Yeah, it's the bugle call. And I think this is the wake-up call for not only America, but I think for a lot of people around the world. Yeah, because everything, I mean, if we look, we've got Argentina, we've got Malay. In Europe, we now have, what's her name, the female Italian Prime Minister. Meloni. We've now got
Holland.
Builders.
Yeah.
We've got, and then of course the Hungarian one, and Attila the Hun, or whatever. But there's a whole cast of characters. So I think this is a wake-up call where people are actually starting to pay attention now, and they're starting to notice the pattern. And I think it's just a general kind of thing. We need to look at we do look at our politics. Obviously here, many of the people watching are, of course, politically fluent and awake. I think this is more about the collective. This is to wake up the people that are kind of sleepwalking into fascism, not kind of recognizing it for what it is. Like in Argentina, again, we've spoken about it before, but that is a classic example, thinking that the leader won't do something, and then they slap in and they absolutely do. Yeah, so that, I was to say, if we look at Argentina, that is certainly a wake-up call. But, not to beat on Argentina too much, they've been under such incredible stress and trauma for years. What could they do, really? If we look here, this is really interesting. We get the Hanged Man, which is about a change of perspective, reflection, looking at things differently, but it's turned up in the obstacle position. So how much politics will change? I'm not so sure. Because if this was in another position, then it would be like, well, maybe politics will become more enlightened. I think this to me says that politics might be stuck in its similar pattern for a while. Because look at the characters that are alive, and I don't want to seem too bad, but until certain people of a certain generation literally start dying off in politics, I think it's going to be more of the same.
Yes.
Sorry, if I look here, the next card, I've got the Ace of Wands, but this time in reverse. When the Ace of Wands is the right way. Oh my God, look how much it matches my t-shirt. I've just noticed.
Oh yeah.
When it's the right way up, this is a fertile new beginning, new ideas, etc. But this is reverse. So I think what it is, when you've got characters like Modi, we see like with Trump, or with these more legacy politicians, I don't think they want to go anywhere. Also as well, this tells me that conventional politics still struggles with new groundbreaking ideas. They either pretend they're going to bring something new, but it ends up being the same old, yeah? So I think we need a generational shift in politics before it's going to change. we look here, we've got the Queen of Pentacles. People feeling secure is still the most important thing in politics these days. Yeah, what makes people feel safe? Here we've got the Queen of Pentacles, which is about safety, domesticity, looking after the finances. Ultimately, politics will always be about the pocketbook and how secure people feel. So this is why the strongman thing tends to still keep working, because that's what people want. However, the outcome is rather more rosy. So what I suspect is that things will stay stuck as they are for a while, I think for another 5 or 6 years. But once this cycle has ended, I think then we're going to actually start embarking on something new and something different. But what that big change will be, we'll have to see. Could be AI, could be many things, but there will be change. There we are. Who's ready to go next? Oh, Lady G, maybe you go next and then Lena.
Okay. Well, at the very center of it, we have the economy and people. How are they going to be feeling? How are they going to do? But fortunately, what's crossing it are fishtails and what they're being fed, you know, the messages that are going to be put out. Going into it, we have, as usual, charging forward actions, figuring out new actions, but what's crossing it is ending of some ideology. So they're going to be, again, trying to stop some things. The challenge is what's being hidden, what do they have underneath of there, and what is being shared. The outcome is what's being shared, and what's crossing it is attempting to hold on to an economy, a better economy. So yeah, it looks like you know, they're going to try to make things better, say it's making things better, but it's going to still be a difficult time, and people will still be having a bit of a struggle.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. My cards are not so much what it'll all look like. It's more what we have to do. If we want something different, we have to co-create it. Okay. So we have a responsibility. So that's what these cards are suggesting to me. So 3 of Pentacles, people working together. It can also be dark money. And I think it's both those things around money. So I think you'll have the corporate world doing its thing together, and we need to find other ways of working together with currency and around currency wherever possible. Doing it a bit differently. We have to rethink our relationship to money, what it means, what it can do, what it can't do, right? So all of that. And that is a step-by-step process. It's not an overnight process here. A lot of emotion swirling, but fabulous opportunities can arise if you're ready to pounce. And by that, I mean not locked into just one old way of being. If you're not, you can take advantage of that. There will be ongoing tensions between truth, honesty, rationality, all those things of the high swords cards. And we will have to defend that. Wherever we are living, we will have to defend literally sanity itself. Outcome, I'm thrilled with this. This is the Fool card, brand new day. If we're prepared to do the work and defend and build, there'll be something worth waiting for. You know, but we have to be prepared to do it really differently. This is jumping off the cliff differently, right? So that's me.
Absolutely. I mean, in a way, I just think the political situation at the moment is so intense, so intracted, and it's been so similar and been so loud and garish for the last 7-8 years. sometimes it can be hard to imagine it being another way, but I just have a feeling there will just be that sudden shift, particularly once the young people come in and just start, you know, dismantling and just not believing in a lot of this stuff that's being said. I also think AI is going to be a huge, going to cause huge political shifts and stuff like that. And I feel like it's almost like this ossified thing that's in its death rattle.
Yeah.
And it needs to almost kind of move away and transform. So I, for me personally, I give it 5 years max, and everything will be different.
Yeah, yeah. And I think Sissy here in the comments sums it up. Oh, here it is. In 5 years, it's very likely Trump, Putin, Murdoch, Bannon, the last Koch brother will be gone via jail or passed on. That's a good start, but the fascist playbook is now global. But people understand it. Because that's what's missing now. People don't get it.
Yeah. And I think that's what's going to change. Fascinating. Oh, I think that's really good. We have a question that's come in, and this is a good point here and a nice kind of segue. So I'm gonna click up here. So here we've got some. Oh, my computer's going a bit slow. 1 minute. See how long it takes for the comment to come up. So Annalie Finch is saying, don't forget to smash the like and button, and this is for entertainment purposes only. So thanks for that reminder. And of course, don't forget to like and subscribe to HoGaLe if you want to support the show. And the ladies' links are in the video description. Not yet, actually, because I've been in transit. It will be once we're done with the show. Sorry, folks.
Yeah, right.
Click on the other videos.
Spanish.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm just adjusting to where I am. So Joe Elisa said, is everyone a bit disappointed about the Supreme Court knocking back Jack Smith? So ladies, do you want to just debate that, and then maybe let's pull some cards?
Yeah, I'll just say my second last video on this issue, I said, when everyone was excited, I said they're not going to hear it. They're going to kick the can to another court, which is what they've done. So I said that, 10 days ago or whenever. Yeah.
And I did a pull on, I think, on one of my Thursday fry-ups. And everyone's like, Colorado, but the cards that I get, I said the Supreme Court is like this. They're in cahoots with Trump. They can't just... they can't be that obvious with it, even though we know they are being kind of obvious. But I did think it was quite unlikely that they were going to grant that motion. But shall we read on the Supreme Court and their relationship with Trump? Shall we maybe kind of look into that a bit more?
Let me move to the circus cards.
Yeah. Let's look specifically at their relationship. What is the Supreme Court's relationship with Duck L'Orange?
With Duck L'Orange.
For entertainment purposes only. And look, my friends are going to have to start calling me Signor Lumpy, yeah?
You've been bitten by things.
Look at this.
Darling.
Up.
Ice cubes, given that we have mosquitoes as big as helicopters, right? Make sure you've got ice cubes in the fridge. And when you're just watching something, your attention's on something, just ice cubes, put them in a face washer on each bite, and it takes that.
Yeah, been terrible.
Is it mosquitoes or ants, or what is it? Mosquitoes.
It's mosquitoes, but these ones, the ones in Mexico, I'm really responding strongly to them. Literally. I've rubbed antihistamine cream on them.
Sure.
And I've been getting
if you can, depending where you are, if you can get citronella, I think so. Before you leave the house, put it on your ankles, your arms, any exposed bits.
That's what I was supposed to do, but I forgot.
And now you're paying the price.
I know.
They left you some citronella.
Honestly, I've got arms like like pepperoni. All right.
Okay. I've forgotten the question. Where were we?
The Supreme Court's
Supreme
relationship
Court
with
and their relationship with Trump.
Yeah, what it really is about. Let's take a deep dive on that. Supreme Court's relationship with Trump.
Supreme Court and Trump. Oh.
Juicy things already.
Yes, totally.
And I think we should have a Shakespeare read on the Supreme Court as well.
Ah!
I brought Shakespeare with me. He's here. Travels well, does the bard.
Yes. He's universal. That was his gift.
Oh, that is interesting.
Despite the fancy language, he nailed the human condition.
Oh, absolutely. Who's ready to go first?
I can. This was easy. In the sense that easy but complicated, if you know what I mean. First card. Three of Swords. This, if you think of this as the Supreme Court having to swallow every misdemeanor and foulness that he puts out. This is you've got. That's why I was laughing. You know what I mean, Margaret?
Oh my God.
But they must know, even in their holy of holies, sacrosanct halls, people are no longer trusting the Supreme Court. There's nothing supreme about the Supreme Court anymore. Justice Roberts or Gorsuch or whoever's in charge now, they have let it deteriorate. They now have to be seen to defend what's left of their prestige, right? But they're not very good at it. The Eight of Swords, right? They're really struggling. You know, everything they do makes it worse, not better. They have this card like flying by the seat of their pants. There's an elitism, is my vibe on this card. We're the Supreme Court. You all have to bow down to us. Woo, woo. Well, Hangman.
Oh.
Okay, so in terms of the relationship with Trump, I think the beginning and end tell the story. They have kept not acting in the interests of the entire country for him. They keep swallowing this crap. But now they don't know what to do. And I'll just quickly point out my third interpretation of Hangman. One is things not happening quickly. Two is a different perspective. Three is the willing sacrifice.
Oh, yes.
So they have to, is he the willing sacrifice? Like from their point of view, they will eventually have to sacrifice him, willing on their behalf, not his, or they'll have to sacrifice their long-term prestige and reputation if they stick with him.
Wow. Lady G, what do you have?
Well, this is a reading. I got both the King and Queen of Swords and also the King and Queen of Pentacles.
What are the chances statistically?
Wow. Wow.
At the center of it, you know, we have that they have a very strong opinion about this. And what's crossing it, they're feeling stressed. They're feeling a bit beat up with it, that they have to, they're going to have to address this. Going into it, they wanted to walk away from it as long as they could.
Yeah.
But they've got all the information that they're holding on to, that they've gotten in their lap, that they can't get rid of. And what's crossing it is, of course, they don't like the outcome that they're going to have with this. So the challenge is, again, you know, we have strong opinion, we have the wealthy that are behind it with all of this, pushing everything. But again, crossing it is the burden that they're going to have to do the right thing. They don't want to but they're not going to have a whole lot of choice. They're not going to be able to save his rear. So they're trying to put it off as long as they can, but they are between a rock and a hard place on this one.
Yeah, and I'm just going to click up on one of the comments here, which is, what's it called? Wait, 1 second, wait for it to click up. It's taking a little while. Bear with me, folks. Come on. Oh, maybe I just need to click on that bit where it says show. Oh, for some reason, I didn't know. So Joe Elise is saying, they know damn well Trump does not have total immunity. Of course he doesn't, but they're just pretending. Yeah, and it's such a ridiculous scenario. So if we see the card that I've got, just clicked off that. Sorry, it's just taking a little bit longer, folks, than usual because I'm traveling with my other laptop.
Actually, this is the best technical thing you've had in months.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, maybe I should go to Mexico.
I think you should move to Mexico, Hogan.
Well, you know what? I'm thinking, actually, we're having a Lena digression here. Yeah, there's a Lena digression here. I really am thinking that I might do something in South America because the time zone, just on the time alone, it is so much better. I did this at 7 p.m. in the evening as opposed to it normally being midnight, so it's huge difference, and it would be easy for clients and stuff like that. But anyway, so Supreme Court, look, 10 of Wands, need we say more? They are feeling exhausted with Trump.
Good.
They are knackered at carrying on this farce, this pretense, and this utter ridiculousness. They're supposed to be Supreme Court lawyers who are supposed to know the law inside and out, and they're these purists that are like we're originalists, trying to pretend that the things that they're dealing with are far more complicated than they actually are. We all know the truth. We all know he doesn't have immunity, and they're carrying that burden now, which is just ridiculous. If we look here in the obstacle position, we have the Strength card, which has turned up again. However, when it's in the obstacle, we can consider it reversed. The Strength card reverse can mean a person or persons who struggle to control their bestial impulses. Doesn't that talk quite a lot about the Supreme Court? I'm not saying they're all absolutely cooked and rotten, but many of them are. This can be your Justice Thomas. Yeah, this could be your, the Kavanaugh? What is he, Brett Kavanaugh? Whatnot? Many questions there. So they're burdened because they struggle to control their impulses because they're not on any kind of moral high ground. This is the opposite of inner strength and morality. Why? Because everyone can see that they're a bunch of crooks. Yeah. Swords, just trying to get away with stuff, taking bribes, taking this, taking that, having decisions made long before in advance, and it turns out later that the Supreme Court has already made up its mind. Roe versus Wade was leaked, wasn't it? Because the decision had already been.
Yeah.
This is them sneaking about, trying to serve their own agenda and Trump's as well. However, they really need to watch out. Because if they support Trump in this, in what is obvious BS, they will be stabbing themselves in the back. I think this is the end of their authority if they keep on going this way. How can you keep making excuses for this guy who has been so egregious in his multitude of crimes and backstabbings? But there you are. So I think this will be, they're flirting with their own defeat.
Yes.
They really are. But the outcome card is the Queen of Swords. So obviously what they've done is, from what I understand, I saw a flash of a headline where the Supreme Court in Colorado, who wanted Trump struck off, apparently they've been getting the death threats already. Yeah.
They would have known that was coming though,
Absolutely. And here, this is where they have to make a choice. They need to decide if they stand for the law or not. If they don't stand for the law, then just get out of the way. just move on, because this charade and this pretense can't go on. Ultimately, what I'm hoping is, I think what they're doing is they want the appellate court to kind of do the job for them.
Yes.
That's the sense that I get. They want
But
the
they're
appellate
only
court.
putting it off because whatever that intermediate court says, it'll go to the Supreme Court.
Right.
Duh.
Yeah, but they are running out the clock. They're trying
Yeah.
to run out the
Yes.
clock. They're trying to push this into being in the summer. And once we're in the summer, we're that much closer. So,
Everything about it. Yeah.
Oh, they're totally corrupt. Really, this card truthfully tells us who
The
and
card
what
of
they are.
corruption. Yeah.
That's what they are. That's what they are. Everything else
We
is
just
the
need to
charade.
say there are a few decent people left on the Supreme Court, but they're outnumbered.
Outnumbered. Yeah, they're outnumbered. And they're carrying that burden as well. So they're very conflicted. I think if they could make Trump disappear, they would. And it's
Yes,
probably
exactly.
in the interest. Yeah, because who's first out the window? When you got a dictator, the first thing they get rid of is the judiciary. So they need to be
Yes.
very careful.
Yes, exactly.
Anything to
I
add?
think Sharon's got a good comment here. Hi, Sharon. Yes, and if Biden wins, take his oath and pass the baton to Kamala to rule and then lock them all up. I love that trajectory.
I mean, we'll have to see. I mean, America is, it's a very, very divided place. There's very little consensus on anything, even on the obvious. So we'll just have to see how it goes. I think there'll be a lot of people that would be very upset if Kamala was president. Yeah.
Oh, of course. But also, no matter which scenario you look at, there's going to be fury, outrage, and upset. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's part of the problem that's now been unleashed. And also the Supreme Court not stepping up and doing their job, which they should have done 3 years ago, if you ask me, but that's not. And sorted this. There would have been flurries and outcries and threats, but it would have settled down a bit by now. This is pushing everything into this 2024 vortex that's going to be so volatile.
Yeah. And what's happened is, because, I mean, we know that Fox has been crazy from the get-go, but I just feel like so much of the media is in this febrile, it's like they can't help but keep perpetuating the Trump narrative and just keeping him there constantly. I understand he gets them numbers, he gets them ratings, but it's just, the stakes are just so high, and it should be a minimal reporting and saying, okay, this is something that Trump said, let's debate and whatever. But what do? They show him giving the rally, giving the speech. They amplify his voice.
This gives me the heebie-jeebies. Okay. On my feed, and it doesn't matter if I'm looking at the Midas Touch or Legal AF or CNN or MSNBC, anything, it's all Trump every day. Even if the commentary is, look how stupid this sentence was, or look how poor this rally's attendance was. It doesn't matter. You're still putting him out there every waking moment.
It's free advertising. It's just free advertising.
Free advertising, because it's saying he's so important. I don't see Biden on my feed for 100th of those. I wouldn't see one Biden for every 100 Trumps.
Yeah. And that's part of the problem. And I think that's where the media in the USA, not to be bad to the USA, but they need to be a bit more sophisticated in their coverage. They need to understand they have been feeding this beast for a long time. And it doesn't matter, like you said, if it's a compliment or an insult, it's putting him front and center, exactly where he wants to be. It amplifies his message. It gives him a chance to tell a few jokes and win over a few more people. And they need to understand that that's part of it as well. So.
Yeah, and not give him actual airtime, which they do all the time in terms of a whole section of a speech. if you're going to talk about what he says something, just have him on a small screen like we are now and put the commentary out there. And you've just got this orange clown in the corner. Don't release everything he says. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. Hanging on every single word. Lena, I think let's ask your question, because I think we need a little bit more time to dig into it. Oh, and before, let's not forget, I said, let's check to see what Shakespeare has to say about the Supreme.
Oh, yeah. Let's do that first.
Let's do that, and then we'll go to one of your questions. Who asked last week? Oh, wait, Lena, it was me and you last week. So let's.
Oh, yeah. So therefore, it has to be Lady G.
Has to be Lady G. So the usual Lady G, you know the routine. I'll close my eyes and flick. Let me get to the right place. And you tell me where to stop, and we'll get the Bard's opinion on the Supreme Court.
Stop.
Oh, this is interesting. All right, quite simple. So this one has come in from Love's Labour's Lost. Your wit makes wise things foolish.
Oh, that's for a Supreme Court.
Yeah. Your wit makes wise things look foolish. What's on the next page? And here, and then it says here, better a witty fool than a foolish wit. 12th night. Isn't that interesting?
Yes.
Both are talking about foolishness. Your wit makes wise things look foolish. I think that's how the Supreme Court looks in the public to me. You know, with the decisions that they've been making, I think that's kind of how they look. I can't take them seriously. I think they're just an absolute joke. Anyway, such is life.
Yes.
Just so you can see, folks, there's someone down here now who's.
Oh my God. It looks like a cartoon. What
and then look, and then you've got the little.
Now, Hoagie, if you're not a dog person, I have to say be careful with the Chihuahua, because they will try and take your leg off when you're not looking.
Well, yeah. Well, one of them, the boy one, just gave my hand a good old chew. You know, when I tried to take his
harness.
harness.
The Chihuahua, yeah.
He seemed so sweet before.
And they're so aggressive with other dogs. I'm sorry, we'll probably get 24 comments now. Chihuahuas are lovely, but not in my experience.
You should see these
they can be nasty. They can be nasty little buggers, Chihuahuas.
I had small dog complex.
Yeah, when I was young, my parents had a Chihuahua, and it would chase me around and nip my heels all the time. It was a nasty little bugger.
Yeah.
Well, I found these ones quite charming. I mean, they would like paw on me with their whatevers, but it was just when I tried to take the other one's harness off, he literally gave my hand a quick chew, and I was like, fine, you go and stay in the corner.
Well, just make sure your rabies is up to date, you know.
Well, yeah, well, thankfully it didn't break the skin, but I think my rabies is up to date, but I'm just like, my God, that would be a bit of a disaster to the trip.
No, I'm sure it'll be fine.
So Lena, let's do your question.
Oh, yeah.
So your question, if you want to present it, and then we'll just read on it.
Okay. So the gossip this week is Trump going to leave Melania for the lawyer, Alina Habba? Now, I don't know if he's going to leave Melania. I think she left the building quite some time ago. But has he having an affair with the lawyer, Alina Habba? Why is she still there when all the other lawyers have left?
Oh, that's quite juicy, Lena. That's
do a gossip, everybody. Let's just
have gossip. Let's have a gossip one.
Duck L'Orange and Alina Habba.
Well, what is her background? Is she like Italian or something? Or
someone let us know. It sounds possibly Lebanese to me, or Iranian or something. Can someone let us know, please, Alina Habba's ethnicity?
Yeah. Because, you know, we know he likes I mean, in that sense, he is pretty broad-minded, isn't he? He does go from a a wide selection of women of the world, shall we say, for spices. Can't call
And
him
then
Navalny.
comes down on anti-immigrants. You know.
Exactly. Probably be at the border looking for a wife. My
Yes,
goodness.
absolutely.
Hypocrisy, you know.
Alina Habba and the trumpet.
I mean, I think there has to be something going on there, because he's just, you can't defend the indefensible. But anyway, let's see. Alina Habba.
Oh, God. Oh, my word.
You got some juicy ones.
Got some juicies.
Hubbard and Trump. Let's have a look. Hubbard and Trump.
Oh, this card even looks like Alina Habba. How strange is this?
Oh. Who's ready to go first?
Oh, I can.
Go for it.
The first card, strangely enough, is Temperance.
Oh.
Balance, moderation, all those things, very uncharacteristic of either of them. This is suggesting to me like a dual personality. Has Alina Habba got a twin? There's something here that's very weird.
Yeah.
Or she goes out to defend him like a lioness, like Murdoch's Wendy Deng, and in the bedroom she's a sex kitten or something. There's some weird duality here. But then this is her as the bearded lady, in the sense of I love these cards. Queen of Swords. She thinks she's fabulous, right? She really thinks she's fabulous. I think they are having a bit of a fling. This is the Four of Wands.
Wow.
You know, I don't think they'll go as far as to get married, but it's a bit of a fling. But here you go. Fives. Now, fives in tarot are never marvelous, you know. So we've got the Five of Cups, loss and regret. And we've got the Five of Swords, which is ruthlessness. Like, I think they're both ruthless, scheming people. So they get two fives in terms of, I asked the future of their relationship and got those fives.
Wow.
Ooh, yucky poo.
Oh, wow. Lady G.
I'm intrigued. What did you get, Lady G?
Well, at the very center of it, now usually it's my card for Biden, but we are talking about Trump this time. So
Yeah.
I would say he's emotionally attached to her. And she is, what's crossing it is for the long-term benefit. We get little extra benefits with Alina. Okay. Going into it, yes, she gives more. So going into it, we have the things being juggled, you know, her money and all the other stuff. And of course, it's all depending on 45. What's crossing it is, you know, that ending of the mental state. You know, she's willing to say and do anything for him. So that's what we have going into it. The challenge is, you know, she doesn't take anything in mentally. She's really vacuous. And the outcome are endings. So she does what she can to get
moves on. Doomed romance.
Yes. So she does the trip here to get to calmer waters, to keep the savage beast at bay. So she just gives more. Yes.
My goodness. So I've got interesting cards here. So the way I see this, their relationship, first of all, we get the Chariot. So basically, Alina, she's obviously has not looked at local history or, you know, what has happened to the previous wives, and doesn't seem to understand that he's currently married to someone. She's like, she sees him as her vehicle to move forward in the world. Yeah, this is representing her ambition, her desires and stuff like that. Here I think is Trump. Now, the second card in the spread is often the obstacle position. So I think Trump's trying really hard. I think when he's sitting next to her, he's sucking his stomach in, trying to look as vigorous as he can. Yeah. But
He's
because
changed his diaper.
Exactly. He's like, he's removed his colostomy bag, to make sure that he's not as whiffy as he usually is. So here, though, but this is the card which is about what youth, rearing up and, thrusting forward into the world. But of course, it's turned up in the obstacle position. So I'm thinking this is blue pills and burgers for me.
Yes.
Personally. That's how I'm going to put it. Blue pills and burgers. Yeah. But she doesn't mind because she's an ambitious girl and, absolutely everywhere. In the middle of it, though, I think, look, this is Duck L'Orange. I think he's clinging to her somewhat. There is some element here of emotional attachment going on. We know he's running out of money, and I don't think she's actually in it so much for the money. I think, it's more about you give me fame and I give you favors type thing. Yeah. But here, in a way, this is also talking about how Trump has so few options left. Yeah. I mean, they've all done their training at the Mickey Mouse Club, whoever's left, and I think this is him just holding on, clutching on to anyone that's going to stay with him. Here she is again, taking her moment in the sun, being strategic, bringing everyone together, doing her little dance and performance in front of the cameras. It's like she knows her career's over, but she may as well be famous for something. Yeah, yes. That's how I interpret it there. Here she is, doing her bit. But ultimately, if we look here, there is this immaturity here. Look, we've got the pages, always messages. Here we can understand this can be about the truth, sword of truth. But I think this is also talking about her immaturity as a person. Trump is obviously, he's just not a good guy to be around. It's very unlikely that you'll be paid. It's very unlikely you'll be able to keep your law license by the time the process has gone through. But there seems to be no shortage of these young, sort of like fame-hungry people that are prepared to put themselves out there. So I think she's doing it for the fame. I think she's doing it for the name. I don't think she's that mature in terms of her analysis, but she's standing up there to be like this radical kind of person. And ultimately, I think it's probably futile. She's certainly not going to have a meaningful career after this. I don't think so.
Yeah, people were saying about his hygiene, but I picked a card for her hygiene. She's a bit fishy. So
this is a show for grown-ups.
Exactly. For entertainment purposes only. Yes. Shall we see what the bard thinks of the lawyer? We haven't asked him before.
Oh yeah, let's give it a whirl.
Yeah, let's give it a whirl. So it'll be your turn, Lena. Let's see what the bard thinks. What's she called again?
Alina Habba.
That's it, Alina Habba. Let's see what the bard thinks of Alina Habba.
Ready and stop.
Oh. All right. This is what the entertainment purposes only, everyone. This is from the Comedy of Errors. And the bard says, dissembling harlot, thou art false in all. And then on the next page it says, she adulterates hourly.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, King John.
That's amazing. Given the gender distribution in this, to have two female ones is extraordinary.
Yeah.
I think Shakespeare Bless on the other side endorses this program. I really do.
Because it's like, what are the odds? We were just talking about that stuff. And there, dissembling harlot, thou art false in all. And it's from the Comedy of Errors, which is the whole time. It's just
whole career.
Anyway, the time has gone super quick. Thank you everyone for joining us this evening. What do we have? 1,449 of you have joined us.
Awesome.
Live. Oh yeah, sorry, were you going to say something? Oh, no? Okay, no. Oh, you were saying that's awesome. So thank you guys for joining us. Oh gosh, I almost forgot. If anyone has not taken the survey yet for all of this adventure and, retreats and stuff next year, it will be in the description below, but I'm going to have to do that post show, and then I'm going to reveal after Christmas where we're going for those that are interested. Thank you, ladies, for your contributions. As always, I think very fun. It wasn't the Bard on absolute
on point.
Absolutely on point. But anyway, so thank you so much for everyone for joining us. You will see us next week. Please don't forget as well to like and subscribe to support HoGaLe, and the ladies' channels will be in the description after I do it post show. That was a lot of fun. The time has gone, and at least I don't need to go to bed straight away because it's just 8 p.m. for me now. I'm in.
Very civilized.
But say a little goodbye to the little doggies. I don't know how long I'll see them again.
Woof.
There they are.
Are they bilingual dogs?
Yeah, I think they speak English actually. I think they're English, but they do go crazy when it comes to other dogs. So they're a little bit wild. But thank you everyone for joining us.
See you next week.
All right. We'll see you next week. Let's get this thing.
New Year's Eve. I'm out of the time zone.
Oh, good question. Let's see how it goes. It could be a New Year's Eve. That would seem about right, wouldn't it? But for anyone who's catching this particularly later on, happy holidays, everyone. Have a wonderful Christmas. Don't worry too much about 2024 for now. Just eat, get fat. Don't worry about it. And we'll see you all soon.
That's right.
All right.
Go and behave badly.